Hello friends, how are you doing? How are you doing today? I'm jumping on today. I'm making myself accountable today, telling you that I'm doing the work. Here I am over here doing the work. What's the work? The work is, striving for my very best human experience. Working on my very best human experience. Reaching out to people who are looking for their very best human experience. Making myself accountable by actually getting on here and being live, thinking and speaking about these things on a daily basis. That's how you get better at it. That's how you get better at all things. That's how you get better at being a human, by practicing your best. Just jumping on, making myself accountable to my best, talking about the things that I use every day to make myself my very best, so that I'm dialing in my best every day. Lovely friends, I've been on really a 10-year journey, but more specifically, the last 7 years has been really a change to my nutrition and my exercise. The 3 years prior, so I say 10 years ago, I was heavily into the mindset. A new mindset. I want to say it's a renewed mindset that helps you to change your life. So I started with a renewed mindset, a recommitment to mindset, a very, very disciplined commitment to mindset, which morphed into a massive change to my understanding of nutrition. And it really grew out of spirituality. Like 10 years ago, my life fell apart, and in the chaos and in the fear of losing my family, I had already lost my health and my wealth. I was already bankrupt physically, mentally, emotionally. And I was floundering and looking for a solution. And then I started to really deeply look into my spirituality. And I spent a few years studying spirituality. I have spent many years studying spirituality. And I've looked at Christianity, Judaism and Islam. I've really looked at those. And I want to say that these are the religions of the West. And they all have something in common. Did you know that they all come from the same book? Did you know that? I mean, they talk about different books, but they're all connected. Did you know that the Jewish book is the Torah, and the Christian book is the Bible, and the Islam book is the Quran? But did you know that all of the characters in all of the books are the same? They're brothers and sisters and family of, it's a continuation of the story. I'm getting sidetracked. Very simple for me to do, but I want you to understand the importance of spirituality here. Is that I studied the Western spirituality deeply. I spent a number of years looking at that. And then I started to look to the Eastern philosophy. So I studied Buddhism for a couple of years. You want to believe that? I'm serious. I really committed and dedicated to the study of the Eastern philosophy. I looked at the Hindu faith. I looked at the Buddhist faith deeply. And I looked at the yin and the yang. The Taoist. I looked at the Taoist religion. So I looked at world religion. I studied world religion. And And I came to recognize that, you know, there's like a religion of the West. It's like a religion of science. It's science-based. That's the religion of the West. And the religion of the East is more of a feminine. It's feeling-based. It's spirituality, authentic, true spirituality. This would be my opinion. And what you need to see, I think, in order for you to grow out of your nutrition understanding, is that truly there's not just one message here on the planet. Like, there are, you know, just depending on where you grew up on the planet, you were exposed to different spiritual understandings, cultural norms, in different areas. And I want to tell you that it's not that one is right and one is wrong, and that these people are smart and those people are stupid, and these people have the best life and those people have a terrible life. Although this is how the education in the West is. Like, we're always taught that we are superior than everybody else on the planet. Like, we have the best medical system and the best nutrition information, the best education, and the best quality of everything. This is what we're always told. Like, our lifespan is improving, like life is getting better. But if you really do any personal research, you'll begin to see that there's a little bit of a fallacy there. Like, life isn't really getting better for the most part. Really, if you do a personal poll with people, you'll find out that people are actually more unhappy and unhealthy probably than ever before. I don't believe the information that they're telling on the television, right? Like, the stuff that they're saying about how perfect and wonderful all of the information and knowledge of the Allopathic Medical Association and everything over here is better. I want to tell you to look really around and see if that's what you see. Can you not see that cancer, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, every single sickness, illness, disease known to man is on the rise? There is nothing on the decline. That health is not getting better at all. Health is getting worse. And it's not only health, it's wealth. It's people's financial situation. People are living paycheck to paycheck. It's health, it's wealth, and it's relationship. More divorce, more unhappiness, more unsatisfied relationships, unsatisfied relationships with ourselves, and unsatisfied relationships with others. See through the illusion that we have everything over here as perfect as it should be. No, there's a mistake. And I want to tell you that thousands of years ago, that Hippocrates, Socrates, so many men in history have been saying these things since the beginning of time. Let your food be thy medicine. The great-grandfather of the allopathic model, Hippocrates, was quoted for this. Let your food be thy medicine. Change your food to change your medicine. You've got to get a different understanding of food. Now, this is what I learned from looking at a spiritual, a real open-minded view of the world's spirituality. What I learned from looking at the religions of the East and looking at the religions of the West is that, in my opinion, God, the creator of the universe, the All-Father, the creator of all things, the Spirit, the Christ consciousness, the Kundalini, the Prana, the Chi, what do you want to call the power of the universe, the power of creation, the power of love, the power of love, the power of creation. That power, it created life it created it. It kind of reached into life with two hands, and it created the earth. It gave some information to the west. It gave some information to the east. And truly, you must see that we have to marry the two sides of the information. It's masculine, education, masculine, the mind, the thinker. And it's feminine, it's the feeler, it's the spirit, it's the creative force. So we have to put the two ends together, and we have to see without a doubt that there is, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent force, that there is love within and there is love around. And we have to see that the love inside is the same as the love outside, that one is not better than the other. Right? That one side is not better than the other. It's just a different perspective. To see that dad, to see that father focused down on his work, and that was how he loved his family. And to see that mother focused out on the family, on feeding the kids, on making sure everybody else was right. And that's how she loved the family. But it's not that one loved and the other didn't. It's just that they have different ways of loving. That one loves out and one loves in. And this is masculine and feminine love. And if we can learn to really maximize the two, that this is the way to fix, change, heal, bring balance and harmony into the self. That harmony and balance, that love is two, is seeing both, is seeing the other point of view, to see the other perspective. And I think this is what has to happen with nutrition. It's to see through the illusion of nutrition. Now, I want to tell you a couple of things about nutrition today. Just a couple things. I can get stuck talking for too long. I don't want to bend your ear for too long about this, but I want you to understand just a couple of ideas. I want you to understand, first of all, that, before the last 10,000 years, like 12,000 years ago, we started to come into societies. We started to bake bread. We started to come together in groups, right? And we started to see the value of feeding the entire population with bread, with wheat. That we started to grow in the field the wheat, and then we could chop it down and we could pound it and make it into a flour, and we could store it on the shelf for the whole winter. People could be fed this way. And I want to say that this happened, and we started to trend in this way because it was more economical. So it became like socially economical for the society to work and live this way, that it became more profitable for us to pull in the wheat and store the flour and have wheat all winter than it was to eat the fruits and vegetables, which would spoil in a couple of weeks. That it became more socio-economical for the society, more profitable for the society, more cheap for the society to live this way, that it was more profitable for the Fortune 500, for the people that were making the bread and pulling in the wheat and making the bread and selling the food, that they could, the big food and drug could make more profit with a food that they could sell that was cost effective and could last forever. So it became more cost effective. And so the society trended in this direction. I want to say that this happened not because of health, not because that's what was supposed to happen, but because of the introduction of the monetary system. That the financial system started to change our eating system. And in the last 100 years, this has happened greatly, magnificently, magnified more than ever before. In the last 100 years, we were introduced this 3 meals a day idea. And in the last 20, 30 years, it's moved to 5 meals a day is the recommendation. 3 meals and 2 snacks. This is what they recommend to us. This is the general recommendation. I want you to see that this understanding of nutrition, this idea that, you know, all of the studies say that we're checking the people, and when we observe the people, we see that they don't make these amino acids. So these become essential amino acids. These become essential fats. People talk about certain fats that we need to get and amino acids that we need to get. Fats and proteins. We talk about macronutrients. I want you to throw this idea away. Let's stop talking about macronutrients. Let's start talking about true, authentic nutrition. Let's talk about micronutrition. Let's talk about the minerals. Let's talk about the vitamins and minerals. That's about what nutrition should be about, not about the macronutrition. Get away from the proteins and the fats and the starches. Let's get away from the heavy meals. We need to shift our understanding from calories. We don't get our energy from calories. False. We can get our energy from calories, but it's expensive. Like it has a cost, like it creates a debt with our health. Like when we start to follow our nutrition, that's when we're following nutrition for health, we start to come into sickness, illness, and disease. Like that understanding, that education, that Western understanding of nutrition, when you follow it and apply it, you'll see it's a broken science. It's a one-sided science. It's a one-dimensional science. Now, you can't get healthy looking at yourself in one dimension. You've got to see that at least you are two. And, in more accurately, you're probably more than that. You are physical and mental. You are emotional and spiritual. You have to see that you are physical and mental. You are emotional and spiritual. You've got to see the link between your food and your emotional body. There's a major link there. And I want you to see that the link between the feminine or the emotional body or the spiritual body and our food. And to see that in order for us to get healthy, we have to take a balanced approach with our food. Now, this one-sided approach with our food, like just getting, like 3, 4, 5 meals a day. Like if you follow that for 30 or 40 or 50 years, you'll start to get sick. If you start getting aches and pains in your body, if you start getting sleep problems or digestive problems, if you start getting cloudy head, fogginess, if you start having emotional trouble, if you start seeing mood problems, if you're seeing energy problems or motivation problems, any things with your health, headaches, loss of motivation, any of these indications of health problems, any sickness, illness, or disease, at its root, we need to change our nutrition. And we need to come away from this getting. We've got to come to a more balanced approach. We need to get and to give. Life is two, getting and giving. If I want to get more in my life, I need to give more to my life. Nutrition needs two sides. It needs to be getting and it needs to be eliminating. And because we have gone 20, 30, 40, 50 years of focusing only on the getting, if you are over 40 or 50, you need to focus on the eliminating because we are out of balance. And moving to an elimination focus will bring us back into balance. Harmony and balance is two. Love is two. I'm teaching people how to love themselves, love their life back to health. Every single one of us can do this. And what I'm doing to do that is I'm making myself accountable. I'm making myself accountable here, and I'm making myself accountable with a 7-day kickstart. It's a 7-day accountability program where I share my time with people. in return that they have to make themselves accountable to me. Like, you have to show up in my space 30 minutes a day for 7 days. A minimum of 4 times you need to see me. That's the commitment you need to make to me, and I will honor my commitment to support you. If you don't support me with accountability, then I don't have to support you. It's just a give and a take. It's a two-way street. It's a sharing. I'm looking for testimonials. I've just created my 6-week health and wellness course. I'm launching my course before my 50th birthday, and I'm giving away the 7-day health and wellness trial. It's a trial to try and get testimonials from people who go through the experience with me, so that they can share a testimonial about the experience in my group, on my page, with my friends, with my clients, to put it out into the world, to share to the world the experience of natural health, because the experience of natural health is not what you know. It's something that you don't. If you keep doing what you do know, you'll keep getting what you got. If you want to get something new, you've got to do something different. Just jumping on today, just saying hello, just making myself accountable to you, and saying, if you want some help, weight loss, healing pain, overcoming sickness, illness, or disease, changing your emotional body, changing your life in any way, I have a solution for you, and I've got a free trial opportunity, and I'm searching for testimonials. If you'd like to be a testimonial for me, send me a personal message, reach out to me, send me a message, leave me a comment below. Comments below help me like the Dickens. Help me out if you can. Have yourself a super awesome, terrific day. I love you. I love you. I love you.